Hey there to my 50 subscribers, my future subscribers, and all the people that secretly watch me without subscribing, and anybody that's subscribed to me over the last 2 weeks because I'm recording this in advance because I can't really record it too well while I'm on a train. So, anyway, this is the second story, second chapter, however you want to look at it, in the book. Oh, I forgot the book again. Enigmas of Auslage. I recently changed the writing on the title and made it bigger. I haven't got a copy of it yet like that, but and Amazon's not even showing the update yet, but they will. Hopefully. Anyway, so this is the second part. We'll just call it the second part of the story, and I'm gonna read it for you. I don't think there's anything else to tell you first, but so the second part is called Intuition or Imagination. It's the first day of summer vacation. I just finished my smoothie, and I'm sitting in the kitchen watching Grace drink hers. Most kids would be excited, but I'm not most kids. Sure, I love catching up on some sleep on the weekends. I love to feel refreshed on Mondays, but at the same time, I love having a schedule and learning new things. So I've decided to head over to the library today in search of something new to learn. That is the nice thing about school ending on a Thursday. The library is open the next day. Hey, Grace, want to go to the library with me? Grace finishes washing her smoothie glass, making the kitchen smell like apples. I always get the apple-scented dish soap because it is believed to relax the mind and minimize headaches. Sure, but I have to go grab the books that need to be returned. She casually walks to her room, taking her time. She comes back out in a couple of minutes with a large bag of books. Hey, do you mind if we go over to the mall first? Mom says Mom says they got some new pins in. She thinks I'll really like them. Our parents own Vega General. They are always looking for new products that they think the kids in town might like. And then maybe we can get a bottle of juice at Dearborn's. I'm really in the mood for some bottled juice. Sure, I would like some bottled juice too. As much as I love the smoothies, sometimes it's nice drinking something tasty but more refreshingly clear. I grab my book bag before we head out the door. We walk across Main Street. First we head to Mom and Dad's store. When entering the building, the checkout is on the right. There's a shelf that lines the majority of the left wall where Mom and Dad keep all of the new products to see how they will do. Grace walks over there quickly without even saying hi to our mom. Our mom's name is Crystal. She has the sides of her dark brown hair up in a loose bun on top of her head. The back part of it is hanging down straight. She has a pretty silver top on with a white silk jacket over the top. Her favorite set of pearls are around her neck with the teardrop-shaped turquoise hanging from the middle. Hi, sweetie. What are you girls up to today? We are going to go to the library as soon as Grace finishes shopping. Where's Dad? He is delivering some supplies to your Grandpa Doyle. I guess he ran out of printer paper and ink. Dad's name is Adam. He is a people pleaser. When someone asks to have something delivered, he's on top of it. Besides, even though my parents have been married since they were 18, Dad still tries to impress Mom's parents. Grandpa Doyle and Grandma Lacey are both strong-willed people that can sometimes make you feel intimidated, but they are both very nice to my dad. I nod at her, then Grace walks up with a bunch of pins in her hands. It looks like you found the new pins I told you about. Why are you getting so many? I don't want to run out. I tested them on the little tablet over there. She pointed towards the shelves where she got the pins. They write really nice, so I want to make sure I have plenty before someone else buys them. Mom rang her up, chuckling as she did. Then we said our goodbyes and headed out the door. We walk over to the other end of the mall to Dearborn's. Emily Donahue is standing outside the post office daydreaming. She has on a sleeveless black lace top over a black tank top. She waves, then hurries back in to get back to work. Once inside the grocery store, we walk straight to the back and start looking over the juices in the cold case on the right. I start to get some pineapple juice, then decide on an apple raspberry juice. Grace reaches in and grabs and gets the same thing as me. Then we go over to the checkout. Dell is there waiting on customers. I always thought that he looked like a coach or something. I heard that he used to play basketball in high school. But when he fell in love with Cloris, he wanted nothing more than to marry her. Then after she got pregnant with Ryan, he decided to help her run the store that belonged to her family. He rings up our drinks and we head out. The library is just across 2nd Street from our apartment complex before you get to the school. So we walk to the end of the block, back across Main Street, then across 2nd Street, and we are there. Inside of the library, they have already decorated for Independence Day. Drake's grandma, Nadia, is an assistant librarian. She loves to decorate the library for every holiday. When we walk inside, the kids' area is in a cubby on the right, which is decorated really cute. There are teddy bears in patriotic outfits and handmade flag coverings on the beanbag chairs. Small flags have been placed throughout the entire library, and patriotic streamers are everywhere. On the checkout desk to the left of the entrance, flower arrangements in red, white, and blue adorn the counter. At a glance, they almost look real. Grace puts her books in the book drop, then heads over to the new book carousels. She loves to read and has read most of the novels in here. I go to the back row of the nonfiction section, where the unique antique books are kept. My great-grandma is shelving books when I get there. Her name is Desiree, but all the kids call her Nana. She has been the head librarian since my mom was a little girl. For a 77-year-old, she has a lot of spunk and energy. She loves her job, which is probably why Grace and I love reading so much. Hey, Nana. She turns to look at me. Hi, Bug. What are you looking for today? I don't know yet. Something old that I haven't read. We have had some donations recently from a couple of estate sales in nearby towns. I just finished putting them up, so you'll just have to browse this rack and look for something you don't recognize. Thanks. I'll see what I can find. As Nana walks away, I go to the end of the shelf and start skimming the spines of the books. Suddenly, I feel a tingling feeling in the pocket of my pants. I pull out the crystal that I got yesterday. It feels as though a light electrical current is flowing through it. I put the crystal near my face to get a closer look. It seems to have a faint glow emanating from the center. How strange. I wrap my hand around it and walk down the aisle a few feet. The tingling turns into a much stronger vibration. Then it starts to hum a melodic rhythm. When I open my hand, the faint glow is now an obvious light. I can see it getting brighter and dimmer as I move around. So I keep moving until it is as bright as it will get. When I look in front of me, I see a book that I've never seen before. Gabenmacht, it says on the spine. I put the crystal back in my pocket and pick up the book. The book is beautifully crafted, of a dyed burgundy leather with gold writing stitched into it. I can't believe that it has the name of the town on it. The book must have been handmade here in town by a local. It will be the perfect book for me to study this summer. When I open the cover, the crystal stops tingling and humming. I pull it back out of my pocket to see that it is no longer glowing either. I put it back in my pocket, close the book, and walk over to one of the recliners in the back right corner of the library. I get comfortable in the recliner, putting a throw pillow in my lap to support the book. I open the book back up and begin to read it. It starts off sounding like a story, but the story it is telling seems to be about Jennifer's grandma that disappeared a long time ago. It says that she ran through the cave thinking that somebody needed her help, but there was a cave-in. She kept running, then she fell into a pool of water where she hit her head. It had knocked her out cold, but her face remained out of the water. The book claims that she had a dream about some wonderfully magic plants and animals, and because she was in the crystal pool when she had the dream, the plants and animals became real. Her life became an extension of her dream. The animals communicate with her using telepathy because they are a part of her. The colors that she loves became the colors of the new world that she is to spend the rest of her life in. Because she is a loving and peaceful person, her world would always be loving and peaceful. The book must have been written by a psychic. I flipped back to the beginning of the book looking for a date. It claims that it was written in 1968. But how is that possible? None of us were even born yet. Not even my teacher had been born yet. Even Molly was only 11 years old. As I continue reading, it's talking about the field trip that we went on yesterday. The book describes the cave, the bats, the cave-in, the singing, and the crystal pool. Before long, it starts describing more about Molly's magical place. It describes it in fantastic and incredible detail. It even describes the feelings that it claims I had. I begin to have the same feelings as I read about it. I stop reading, but keep staring at the book as I remember the details about what happened yesterday. But how is that possible? Why doesn't anybody else remember that place? And why am I starting to remember it? I must have spent over 3 hours reading. In the process, I ended up remembering the entire trip. I even remember finding the crystal. There's no way I'm leaving the library without this book. What are you reading? Grace had a stack of books as usual. I had to think quick so she wouldn't get suspicious of the book. Just an old smelly book that someone donated. What is it about? Some history stuff. I knew if I mentioned history she wouldn't be interested. As I get up, Nadia approaches us. She has on a black suit with a red blouse underneath it. Her lipstick matches the blouse almost perfectly. She has always been an enthusiastic person trying to help everybody that she comes in contact with. Do you girls need any help finding something? No, thank you. I found what I was looking for, and Grace apparently found plenty. We were just getting ready to go. Have a wonderful day and enjoy your books. She uses such a cheerful and happy voice. The happiness is actually contagious. Thanks. I couldn't help but smile. We walk over to the checkout desk and patiently wait for Nana to come check us out. I put the book into my bag. I am anxious to get to the privacy of my room so I can continue reading. As we cross the street, Miss Isabella drives by in her little mint green Volkswagen Beetle, and she waves to us. She is our music teacher during the school year. Usually on Wednesdays in the summer, kids go to her house and hang out in her music room. She lives across the street from the gas station. Her home is simple but beautiful. The music room in her house is slightly larger than the one at school. When we get back inside the apartment, the smell of pizza is really strong. Mom must have come home for lunch. It really is convenient for my mom to come home for lunch, with her store being in the strip mall across the street. I head over to the other side of the apartment, still holding on to the bag with my book. I don't want to set it down and take a chance of someone else picking it up. I'm starving. What kind of pizza are you cooking? It's just a cheese pizza, so I added pineapple and olives to it. Now I just have to add some extra cheese to hold the fruit in place. Mom reaches over and sprinkles the cheese on the pizza as it turns on the pizza cooker. Did you girls find any interesting books? I could hear Grace walk up behind me. Yeah, I got a couple of new ones. I think about commenting on her idea of a couple of books, but I don't want her mentioning mine. I think if she did, my mom would ask to see it. I hold my bag close to me. How is Nana doing? Did you talk to her? She's fine. She was shelving some donated books. Ding, the pizza cooker is done. Ding, Gabriel chimed in. He obviously wants to make sure that Mom knows it is done so she can serve him. Mom looks at him and chuckles. She grabs a spatula and slides the pizza onto a glass cutting board. She quickly slices the pizza, puts 2 slices on a plate, and hands it to Gabriel. There you go, sweetie. She picks up a slice, blows on it, and eats it as she heads back out the door. Gabriel has always been spoiled, with Mom waiting on him all the time. He could be sitting at the kitchen table and yell that he wants a drink of water. She will come into the kitchen to wait on him, even if she's in the living room or her bedroom. Grace and I grab ourselves some paper plates, dish up 2 slices of pizza each, then sit at the table by Gabriel. Without moving his head, Gabriel raises his eyes to look at us. Then he goes back to eating and sketching. We all sit quietly while we eat. I look down at the book bag in my lap. I am anxious to get back to reading, so I eat really fast. I jump up, toss my plate into the trash, and walk quickly to my room. I sit on my bed and get comfortable. When I closed the book at the library, I had gotten to the point of it describing how I found the book. I expected the next chapter to describe my future, but when I open the next chapter, it isn't a story anymore. The chapter starts by saying that nobody should be allowed to touch the crystals other than myself and the owner of each crystal. It states that the crystals should be kept a secret from anybody that doesn't have one. It also says that other crystals will be found and I will know who they belong to. It continues on to explain that the crystals are a temporary fix and should be returned to the pool eventually. It says that I will know when the time is right. The book explains that the power connected to my crystal is clarity. I am curious what it means, but when I turn to the next page, it is blank. I stare at the book in disbelief because it is leaving me hanging and I'm not sure what to do next. I am irritated, so I close the book and it vanishes. I sit on my bed staring at where the book had just been. I half expect it to reappear, or maybe I just hope that it will. I start to think that maybe I am just dreaming, since none of it makes any sense. Out of the lack of ability to understand what had just happened, I walk to my desk and get on the internet. First, I type in the name of the book into the search engine. Everything is in German, so I go to a translation site and find out that it means does give. Funny, the title is about giving and it takes itself away, but I guess it is giving us crystals and abilities. Just for fun, since Freirda Tubes is a German name, I decided to type it in too. Free Earth, it says. I guess it's a little too free with the cave-ins. I feel amused, although it's dangerous. My chat screen pops up and I have a message from Jennifer. Where have you been all day? I've been going crazy trying to find my purple hoop earrings. I could use your help. Look behind the lamp on your desk. Oh, thanks. You were right. Are you going to come over tonight? I'm feeling strange and confused, but I promise to come over tomorrow. D. Gooding has connected. Hey guys, what's up? Hey Denny, not much. I'm just needing some rest, I think. Hey Den, do you want to go do something tonight? Cass is being a stick in the mud. I would love to, but my mom lost her keys and says I have to help her find them. You should look at the bottom of the stairs at your dad's. She probably dropped them when she walked Annie and Chrissy over there. That's a shot in the dark, but I'll call my dad and have him look. You sure are full of info today. Obscure info, that is. I'm not feeling so good. What's up? Are you getting sick? I don't think so. My head just feels funny. You were right. How did you guess that? I don't know. It was just a feeling. Like my earrings? Exactly like your earrings. What are you guys talking about? She knew where my missing earrings were, too. Just lucky guesses. If you say so. Well, I think I'm going to go to bed early. I've had a strange day and I'm really tired. Good night. See ya. Good night, guys. I put on my favorite pajamas and crawl into bed. I'm sure that once I get some rest, everything will be back to normal. The soothing sound of Amazing Grace can be heard throughout the apartment. It's my mom's favorite song, so she plays it every Saturday morning. She says that the last day of the week should always begin with a reminder of possibilities. I guess that is how my sister got her name. My mom must have wanted a constant reminder of possibilities. My mom likes the entire family to eat together before we go to church, so I head over to the other side of the apartment. Dad looks up at me with a confused look on his face. "Are you feeling all right, Cass?" "Yeah, I guess so. Why?" "You're still in your pajamas." I look down at the big glittery silver peace symbol, then look back up. "I guess I slept in this morning." "Procrastinate now," Grace is grinning at me. I shake my head, then I take my seat at the table and put a slice of French toast on my plate. I pick up the boysenberry syrup and pour some on the toast. It has been one of my two favorite things to put on French toast since I can remember. The other is elderberry jam. But the only place I can get that from is Phoebe Smith. She has a couple of bushes on her farm that she gets the berries from. Then she makes jam out of them. The demand is too high for the amount she can make, so I eat it sparingly. My mom looks over at me with a big smile. "I cooked some maple-flavored veggie sausages for you and Grace." "Thanks, Mom, you're the best." I take 2 of the sausages and add them to my plate. Gabriel looks annoyed. Mom and Dad don't allow him to do his project sketches at the table on Saturdays. He eats as fast as he can and jumps up from the table. He starts to walk away quickly, but Dad stops him. "Go get your shower before you do anything else." Gabriel's head drops as he pouts and walks away. Luckily, Grace has already gotten her shower. She loves to dress up in pretty things, so she put on a delicate white sundress with tiny blue flowers all over it. After I finish eating my breakfast, I go back to my room to pick out a simple outfit. The jeans that I pick out are a mottled black, because I prefer black pants on Saturdays. Flipping through the closet, I find a white blouse that has some ruffles around all of the edges. I pick up an onyx necklace, then head to the shower. My mom hates that I won't wear a dress to church, but she doesn't bother me about it anymore, so I make sure to put on a nice shirt to try and make up for it. Once we get to church and go inside, Gabriel goes to find Luke on the front bench. Grace and I find Jennifer near the front and go sit next to her. Mom likes the front, and Dad likes to be on the very back bench. So they compromise and find a bench a couple of rows behind the middle. Everybody else settles in and quiets down. The service always starts with a few songs. Several of the congregation go up on the stage and take their places with their instruments. Miss Isabella and Andrew have their guitars. Emmett has a bass guitar. Angie is playing the piano. Daniel is on drums, and several people in the room have tambourines. Normally, I'll sing along with most of the songs because I love to sing in large groups. But I still can't seem to stop thinking about yesterday. When the music stops, Pastor Levi Madigan walks up to the main microphone. Levi is Luke's dad. He's young, but very smart and spiritual. "Today we are going to skip the Bible classes and do some extra singing. Tasha is going to start us off with her favorite song. Tasha?" Pastor Levi motions her to the microphone. Before I start, I want to thank everybody for being an amazing support system all of these years. I would like Grandpa Dante to join me, since it is one of his favorite songs. She reached out her hand towards her grandfather. Everybody started clapping. Once he was on stage, Tasha turned to the musicians behind her to tell them what song she was going to sing. Her grandpa didn't need a microphone since he has such a powerful voice. The music began and they sang the song, "He Touched Me." As I sat there listening to the song, I wondered if the strange things that were happening had to do with me being spiritually touched. And if so, was it good or bad? Should I try to ignore it? Am I imagining things? Maybe it was all a coincidence. Maybe the book was just a dream. After all, it's not in my room anywhere. I figure I should accept that the book was a dream, the earrings and keys were a coincidence, and everything was going to be fine. So I sit and halfway listen to the rest of the service. The music keeps playing as the congregation sings song after song. Levi gets up after several songs so he can preach the sermon. As he talks about having faith and trust in God, my mind continues to wander. What if the book was real and God was the one that led me to it? What if my ability and the ones of the people to come are being given to us for a specific purpose? After all, part of the book title was Lift Up Auslage. Maybe it was written by a prophet. Before I know it, the service appears to be over. Everybody is standing up and either shaking hands or hugging each other. So I get up and start making my way through the room. I overhear my Grandpa Doyle say something about misplacing some paperwork that he has to study about new IRS laws. He is the only accountant in town, so everybody depends on him. It fell off of the arm of the couch when you fell asleep last night, I chimed in. I realized what I said right after I said it. Hopefully nobody else noticed. I hadn't thought of looking there. I look up as I could feel my grandpa move to hug me. He is surrounded by a yellow color with violet and gold colors flickering in and out. I look over at Jennifer and she is enveloped in a dark blue. As I look around, most of the people have colors around them. Many of them are varying layers of light blue, gold, rose, or vermilion. The younger kids, Chrissy and Nick, have a soft white around them. Natasha catches my attention the most. She has hypnotic swirling layers of a blazing orange, black, red, and dark purple. The depth of her colors are intense and uncomfortable to look at. As my grandpa lets go of me, I start getting really nervous and scared. I need some fresh air. I unintentionally push some people, thinking only about getting out of the building. I quickly make my way out one of the back doors. Once outside, I feel disoriented. It takes me a moment to focus, then I notice the gazebo. I quickly go over to it and sit down, trying to calm myself. When Jennifer walks up to me, I am afraid to look up. What is wrong with you? Are you okay? Do you need me to get my Grandma Ella? I don't need a doctor, I snapped. Then I mumble under my breath. Not a medical one anyway, maybe a shrink. You are worrying me. What is wrong? I need someone to talk to that won't think I'm as crazy as I feel. Talk to me. We've been friends since we were in diapers. I don't think you're crazy. Yeah, well, you haven't been seeing or feeling the things that I have been. I look up and most of the dark blue around her had changed to a soft and light pink color. I guess I must be seeing people's auras. Almost everybody inside is surrounded by colors. Even standing out here, you are. Maybe you are overly tired. See, I knew you wouldn't believe me. Feeling sad, I put my elbows on my knees and my head in my hands, closing my eyes. I feel frustrated, depressed, angry, and alone. Even my best friend thinks I'm crazy. I've been abandoned. I open my eyes and begin to lift my head. My hands are surrounded by what appears to be a silver cloud. Through my frustration, I feel a little amused. At least I am surrounded by my favorite color, even though I don't know what it means. I didn't say that I didn't believe you, but sometimes people imagine things when they don't get enough rest. That's not all. I pause for a moment. When someone says that something is missing, I know where it is. I don't see it, I just know. It doesn't matter if my eyes are tired. I know Jennifer is trying to cheer me up, but she just doesn't understand. That's a good thing. You can help people. You said that all someone has to do is say something is missing? Well, what if I said there was a quarter missing? I sighed. I would say to go look about 2 feet south of this gazebo. Jennifer grins, then walks off the steps a couple feet away. She looks down, then bends over and picks something up. Cool. She is holding a quarter up so I can see it. I look right at her. What do you remember about the field trip the other day? Do you remember being in a cave-in? Do you remember a strange pool of water that we had to go through? Do you remember any animals? I was careful not to mention her grandma. What are you talking about? We walked through the cave a short way, then there was a dead end. You didn't wonder why your clothes were somewhat stiff, like they had been hung on a clothesline to dry? Did you even notice that my hard hat was cracked and wonder when it happened? Maybe you can tell me at which point everybody took their hard hats off, or maybe where the time went. We were there a really long time. Jennifer stood there looking puzzled. There was more to the trip than what I remember. Did I hit my head or pass out? Not that I know of. I believe that I'm the only one that was injured. I tip my head and point to the cut on top of it. I'm also the only one that remembers more than you do, as far as I know. And look at this. I pulled the crystal out of my pocket and held it to the light. Is that a sapphire? Is that what my grandma was looking for? I believe so. Did we find my grandma? I paused to think of the best thing to say. I begin to feel afraid and don't want to say anything to hurt her. I also don't want to lie to her. There were no skeletons or old people. There were some critters that reminded me of a cross between a cat and a fox. Oh, she sounded really sad. But I don't know if there is a way to get back. So I don't want to give her false hope. So what are you going to do now? I guess I will have to learn to accept the abilities that I've been given and continue on with my life. Could we keep this between us until I know how to handle it? Sure. Jennifer gets a big grin on her face. Is there any hidden treasure around here? You know, buried or maybe missing treasure? She makes sure to emphasize on the word missing. I think for a moment, but I only get a vague thought about hidden treasure. Not very close, I don't think. Several hours later, as I'm trying to relax in my room, I hear a knock on my front door. I get up to go answer the door, and Jennifer's standing there grinning at me. Let's go for a walk. I guess that would be fine. I wasn't doing anything anyway. I put my shoes on and yell at Grace that I'm going to take a walk. So you must have this ability for some reason. Do you think that you are supposed to find something really important? I don't know. So far I only know where things were when somebody said the stuff was missing. We cross the street. Try to think of something being missing. See what happens. I thought for a moment and felt that there was a keychain near the bushes in front of the mall. I walk over, bend down, and pick it up. Well, I guess that works. Does it have anybody's name on it? No, it feels like it belongs to someone that was just driving through town. Well, what are you going to do with it? The newspaper office isn't open today, so we can't take it there. I guess we could take it to the jail. We walk down to 3rd Street, cross the street, then walk past the DMV. As we near the jail, screaming can be heard from inside. We cautiously approach the door and slowly open it. Drake's dad, Elijah, is trying to help his dad, Sheriff Victor Connolly. They stumble with Natasha down the hallway towards the cells. She is desperately trying to hug and kiss the sheriff, as well as trying to grab Elijah. She is so drunk I can hardly understand anything she says. I can vaguely make out her insisting that she loves Victor and Elijah. Just before they turn out of sight, she points at Sadie and us and mumbles more about love. Maybe she thinks she loves all of us. Drake's mom, Sadie, is sitting at the desk giggling. What can I help you girls with? Her hair is a light brown with blonde highlights. It is short and curly. She is wearing a fragile-looking necklace with tiny white beads on it. She looks like a cross between a princess and a country girl. What a combination that is. I smile at the idea of a country princess. We found a keychain in some bushes, but we don't know who it belongs to, so we thought we would bring it in here. I hand the keychain to her. Elijah comes back out to the desk. Sorry to interrupt, but we need some forms filled out on Natasha. She was refusing to leave the saloon when she was asked to, so we are charging her with trespassing and disturbing the peace again. I'll get that started when I'm done helping the girls. Thanks. Elijah is a very humble and polite man. It's hard to believe that Drake came from him and Sadie. They are both so mellow, polite, and loving. So that's the end of the second part of the book. I am planning on trying to have the rest of them made ahead of time, so that when it's time for them to be public, they'll already be there, so they will not have the accurate count on the number of viewers, but at least they'll be there, so whenever the 12th of each month comes up through October, you guys will be able to watch the videos even if I'm busy. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I need to get to editing it and finish up getting ready for my day, or finish up my day, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, and I'm going to be making some more videos over the next couple weeks because I'm going to be busy for a while next month. So anyway, thank you. Bye.
The small town of Auslage, some crystals were found, bestowing upon against powers abound. Together they journey through Auslage land, their powers a blessing, their teamwork at hand. Kassandra, her gift to find what's misplaced. Jennifer heals with her faith embraced. Luke with his mind, moving things with ease. They all work together, creating some peace. A mysterious fight, a crazy notion, a book of the future set into motion. Powers are granted to the ones chosen, with crystal that shine as moonlit ocean. Oh, Grace hears what she needs to show that she cares. Danny travels at will, his passage he shares. Destiny streams with vision so clear. The challenges they face are soon to appear. A mysterious fight, a crazy notion, a book of the future set into motion. Powers are granted to the ones chosen, with crystal that shine as moonlit ocean. Oh, the crystals of Auslage, a force to behold, a token to cherish the powers they hold. Oh, with each new adventure, their skills grow stronger. A small squad of heroes, nothing can conquer. Enigmas of Auslage, a town of wonder, with powers granted, the spell that Cassandra, Jennifer, Blue, Grace, and Danny. Destiny's dream, leading them steady. The small town of Auslage, the crystal so clear, a token of power, treasures once feared. Oh, Cassandra and her friends, with skills out of sight, the small town of Auslage, the mighty delight. Oh, Cassandra and her friends, with skills out of sight, the small